identify efficient, cost-effective, and sustainable development practices in the field, help grassroots organizations in innovating new products, empower communities, facilitate convergence of development schemes, and likewise, investment approval process. Who will approve? How this framework will be there? How you can utilize this particular framework? Annual approval process to include sustainable development goals. Approval handbook will be there for every year. Ensure that during inspections, institutions are working under ISO 14001 guidelines. This is an ISO which is actually taking care of all the environmental hazards,
Excuse me, sir.
talking about health and safety. Yeah,
So these ISO ranking are also present in some of the furnitures as well, or
of
other
course. See,
commodities. So what is
for each of the product, there is an ISO. Okay, and for each of the services also there is an ISO. As per the ISO is a benchmark actually, that whatever the services you are doing or whatever the products you are purchasing, what standard it is having actually. It's a certified ISO is a certified agency which is coming inspecting your institution and giving that ISO certification to you. Okay. Then evaluate that particular policy. Institution not complying with mandatory policy aspect will face issues in getting approval as environmental concern. Suppose you need to evaluate. Suppose institutions are not complying with mandatory policy of environment. So certain approvals will not be there for those institutions. Institutions performing well in environmental policy will get rewarded also. Students devoting time to these activities will earn credit also. Students with environmental innovation and startups will get recognition and awards too. Mandatory participation by AICTE initiative like one student, one trip or similar initiative. That is, even an institution can go to village, exchange the thought with a school, collaborate with that school, and ask the students of that school to go for one tree, one student actually policy. This means that each and every student should actually go for a drive, a plantation drive, wherein at least per student there should be one plantation. New initiatives in the right direction will be encouraged. Now they are talking about how to go for an sustainability. Sustainability through approval process with handbook promotes use of environmental improvement measures. AICTE implements as one student one tree policy. Jal Shakti Abhiyan built in collaboration with Principal Scientific Advisor of India and mobilized 30,000 students to provide local solutions. Clean and smart campus award shall be there. This is a framework how you can actually prepare a sustainability to this particular policy so that this can go on.
Excuse
Then
me, sir.
comes, yeah,
Sir, it is as you said that it is in regulatory body. It look after the higher education. Then, sir, why it is looking towards the environment? So it is not a regulatory body to control the environment. So then why it is looking for towards?
see. Uh, this is the regulation given by AICT to the colleges, not to environmental body.
Okay.
They are saying they are saying built in collaboration with Principal Scientific Advisor of India. They are not saying to anything to Principal Scientific Advisor. They are
Okay.
asking institutions to go and
so that
collaborate
means
with
this
them.
will be applicable for both private and government institutions.
All those which are coming under AICT,
Okay, sir.
either private or the government, all those which are coming under AICT, they need to follow this actually.
So it is a thing which is binding on in nature, or basically they are giving kind of advice only.
This is the advice, but suppose institutions are not coming up with these policies in place, there are certain obligations will be there. See, institutions not complying with mandatory policy aspect will face issues in getting approvals as environmental conservation and harmony with nature are important aspects of value education. So, if an institution is going for an environmental green certification through AICT, suppose AICT is coming up with an initiative called we will be giving a certification to all the institutions those who are following this particular policy. And if that particular institution is not following, so that particular institution will not get that certificate. Got it?
Yes, sir. So it means that basically, if it's a kind of advice only, but if you will not follow, then you will be in the trouble because you
You
will.
will not be getting this particular privilege actually.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, they are giving an advice, but if you are not following it, certain privileges will not be there for you. Okay, and the sustainability they have given how to plan a sustainability. For that, you need to collaborate, you need to channelize, you need to mobilize the students, you need to plan certain initiatives in time frame of July to August, and across years, of course, across the months you need to plan. These are the some of the impact which actually AICT is forecasting, that by one student one tree, what will be the suppose they are saying that there will be a 30 lakh trees have been planted till 2019. This data they are saying because of the number of students which are who are admitted in their institutions. Okay, and they are foreseeing that it will take further to 1 lakh 1 crore of tree plantation. The Jal Shakti Abhiyan is aimed to accelerate water harvesting, conservation, bore well recharge activities in 256 water stressed districts. So this is the this is the objective of Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Okay, and AICT has mapped more than 40,000 engineering students with the district admission so that these students can work under Jal Shakti Abhiyan. This is the vision of Jal Shakti Abhiyan, and AICT is saying that okay, my 40,000 students will work for this Jal Shakti Abhiyan. So the goal can be achieved. Likewise, clean and green, uh, they are actually looking forward for this clean and green award also. Clean and green smart campus award in the year 2019 also they did. Total number of institutions applied in 2019 1540. Submitted application were 739. Shortlisted 36 and 11 were the winners. So you can see the outcome of those initiatives and outcome of these plans. What is the outcome actually they have presented uh, in their data is approximately 80 lakh students are studying in AICT approved institutions. 5.6 lakh faculty members and 9,672 institutions are directly impacted through AICT initiative. That is why this policy is being given through AICT, because they are going to impact this many numbers: 80 lakh students, 5.6 lakh faculty members, 9,672 institutions. These students will affect equal number of organizations and show concern towards the environmental issues. Engineering contributes to 60% of export of India. This data is very much actually relevant to you guys, and you should know about what is the real impact of engineering or studying in engineering. Engineering contributes to 60% export of India, and the GDP of industry contributes 23% of the GDP. The contribution from industry is ranked 6th in the world according to Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation 2018-19. So was the this was this was the thought of AICTE, of course. They were giving the idea behind this, that okay, these many institutions will get the profit out of it, and and these many institutions will get the profit out of this, and these many numbers will be
The
the
profit in which term?
profit in terms of the number of
Certification.
students, the number of students, the number of institutions, number of faculty members, those who will be in the part of this particular initiative. Okay, see, they need institutions or the AICT, they need to think for profit in terms of outcome only. What can be the impact of it? What can be the outcome of it? They cannot think for that what can be the revenue out of coming out of it. They will not go for the revenue actually. Okay. anything anything out of this? Okay, certification. Okay, I will share the recording also, and I will give you this this particular presentation too. Anything which you would like to ask from here out of this policy? Any of the queries? And why I have taken this particular policy? What was the idea behind this? Can anyone say on this?
As we are doing social
Because
internship, hello, you
so,
continue.
so basically, environment is also part of SDG, and if we are doing the internship, then we should be aware of the SDG goals and what things are important for fulfilling those goals. That is why I think that you are taking this policy.
Okay, so you have your words.
I will go with Alok only, sir. As he said that as we are taking social internship, so environmental also plays a major part. So we should also contribute on that.
Any 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 other
Excuse me,
views
sir.
on this?
Sir, also the policy, sir,
Yeah, please,
the
Manjita, come in.
policy also spoke about the role of educational institution. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, now you
Hello.
are audible. Manjita, now you can say.
Okay, sir. So I was saying that the policy also spoke about how educational institutions can do things to in the policy. So that is also a fact because we are studying in a university.
See, देखिए, there are three reasons to take this particular topic here. Firstly, you guys are doing the Srijan social internship, and Srijan social internship do talk about the environment too. As you are the part of UPS, and UPS is or Avinash Lingam is also there. Students from Avinash Lingam and other institutions are also there, and these all institutions are coming. Two other students are there, those who are the part of other institutions, and both all the three institutions are coming under AICTE. If you guys are coming under AICTE, at least you should know the mandate of AICTE, that what AICTE is asking institution to do. Thirdly, and most importantly, because you are the part of public policy and how the policy is being framed, what is the idea, what is the structure of a policy, that is why I took this particular policy here. So this actually helped me out to give you three of the basic ideas. Okay. Now, yeah, anything else you would like to add?
Sir, I have a suggestion.
Yeah,
Sir, basically nowadays the controversy is going related to Agnipath policy. So it would be great that if you cover that policy in the class also.
coming up. Don't worry. The
Yes, sir.
case study, today's case study is something relevant to that. Don't worry. I am there. I'm already there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Uh, anything else you would like to actually include? Sivant, you would like to include anything?
No, sir. Sir, just wanted to know your point of view on that policy.
Wait a while. I am coming up. I am coming to that particular point,
Oh,
but I am coming at
okay,
the
sir.
last. Let me give you one.
Okay, sir.
Uh, I am more comfortable if someone else will actually wait. How I can send it to someone else? Zoeb, I'm just typing to you. How I can send this PDF to you guys?
You can share it to WhatsApp.
That will be a problematic. Of course, WhatsApp is.
Also, you can
There
mail
was
it to me. I'll share.
something attachment was there actually. I can do some attachment from here itself. What was that? Live accounts. I'm just
Sir, in
wondering.
the chat box itself, you can do it.
Ah,
Sir,
that's what.
So near the message one, that there's a option like copy paste near the emoji, left
Near,
hand side.
it's not there with, okay, wait a while. Got it. Zoeb, now you can actually download it. It's with you. Zoeb, Zoeb, are you there?
Yes, I was downloading it.
Now you can download it and you can share it so that I can speak on. What I'm going to today, what I'm going to discuss post this particular policy is, I did one of the project actually in the year of 2018-19 with two of my public policy fellow members. One was Bhumika Reddy. She is a lawyer, of course, in High Court of Bangalore.
Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Just
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, I wanted to say that Alankrita has logged out because of some connectivity issue. So she wants to re-enter. And
Okay.
I'm not the host. So Manjishta and Zoe, please let her enter.
I made you host. Don't worry. You are now the host. Just scroll it down. What I'm going to cover is in year 2018-19, I did one of the project. That project was of a lateral entry of at joint secretary levels. What is the lateral entry? If someone of you might be knowing about this, what is the term lateral entry means? Please scroll it down, Zoeb.
So lateral
that one.
entry.
Lateral entry. Lateral. Go up, Zoeb. From here. If you can zoom it more, that will be fine, because students will not be able to, even I am not able to read it.
So lateral entry basically refers to that whenever the people who work in private sector, they are for the few years, they are basically employed in governmental departments. It's a kind of contract between the government and the private people who are working in private sectors, and for a particular purpose, they are being employed for in a particular department.
Uh, you might be knowing, if you know the scheme of lateral entry in BTech also, it is there. Suppose a diploma students are there and they would like to go for a BTech education. Okay, they can choose on the lateral entry. By that, they get the waiver of some of the subjects. Okay, some of the subjects which
Sir,
they have.
are you referring to major and minor?
I'm not referring to just major and minor. What I'm saying is what exactly the lateral means. Lateral means just bypassing certain criteria or eligibility because of the experience gained in the previous department, or because of the previous knowledge which I am having. I am getting some advantage on that, and bypassing either 6 months of course or bypassing 1 year of course and joining in. In education, lateral entry means this, but in professional world, the lateral entry means, or here I am talking about the recruitment. So lateral entry means person who was engaged in earlier engaged in private sector or the corporate sector, and now he is switching on from private or the corporate to actually government sector. Like me, I was also the part of the same system. I was working in corporate, I started working for World Bank project, okay, under MHRD. And likewise, mm, so many consultants are working under this scheme, and Government of India has come up with this scheme for bureaucrats too in year 2019. What they did is, uh, they have given, the idea of this is being shared to ministries and the departments. Modi ji was very well positive for this, and this reform came in the picture that okay, let us go for a lateral entry recruitment for bureaucrats also. But this is not the first time that we are doing this. We were doing this. If you take the case of our honorable in UPSC, of course, in UPSC only. If you take the case of Manmohan Singh, he was the good example of lateral entry only. Okay, and citing his example or citing his background, this particular lateral entry recruitment was done. Firstly, in year 2019, for 10 of the people, 10 of the joint directors were there. Uh, they were recruited against this. And last year, we did for 40 people, 10 joint directors and 30 directors in the position or in the position of or in the designation of directors. But specifically, they are looking forward that these people should be having a experience of more than 15 years or so in their domain specific area. And why we require this particular lateral entry? Because if I am talking about the environmental department of environment, if for all environment ministry, the people those who are more trained in environment studies, or the scientists those who have worked in environmental studies, they are the best people to actually decide on the policy, the implementation, and its drawback also. So citing this, that if the domain expert people are there, then I think or ministry thought of that uh, there will be a better advantage uh, as compared to IS and IPS or even IRS. But before this, what is the what exactly the practice is? We are transferring our bureaucrats from one ministry or one department to another ministry or another department, but they are not the domain experts. Although they gain this particular experience only by the length of the service, or because they were the part of these departments in their previous days. That is why they gain the experience, but they are not the domain experts. Just to recruit the domain experts, they have taken up this particular lateral entry recruitment. I, with Shivangi and with Bhumika Reddy, now Shivangi is also there in Bangalore. Earlier she was in Pune, and Bhumika now she is in High Court of Bangalore. We did this for a review of this particular policy. Although recruitment was not done by that time, but we were doing the review for Government of India. And because of that, I am able to actually give you the background of this and what was the problem statement given by Government of India, or what we can actually understand. This is not the not the say of the government, but what we came to know by our research work and what we have submitted. It's been submitted also in the government. It's not so, but I am giving you the idea of our research work, what we did actually. And even you will get the report structure, how we have went through this particular research work, what all those questionnaires we defined, what all the meetings we did, what all those Google Forms we have shared to officials, what all the responses we got in, and what all those literature review we did it actually, just to justify that okay, this is that, and this is the problem area, and that is why government is going to do this. So I'm giving you the structure also and the process what we did actually, and then we will discuss the present present, of course, policy which you are talking about, or Alok or Sivan is actually looking forward for. See, in any of the reporting or any of this particular format, we need to define the problem. So what we did is we defined the problem that there is a shortage of staff and other officials in various ministries and government offices since long. Keep on scrolling. Okay, recruitment for this much huge workforce and then train them will take almost 3 years, 3 to 4 years, and this means various recruitment process in flow. In view of this, various developing projects will come on hold. You got the idea that there will be a process. You will recruit the people, then you will train the people, and this will take time to do actually. And we have a so much of backlog. We have a so much of shortage of staff. So better in certain cases, present bureaucrat and officers are not efficient enough, and also they are not domain expert. So there is a regular requirement of training these bureaucrat and officers. Every now and then we need to upskill them for that particular department or the ministry. So government have to work on finding alternative to find to all this problem and come up with sustainable recruitment model. So government has thought of, let us go for a something innovative in this and sustainable recruitment process. What they did is government either in state or center is working on behalf of its people from various ministries. All such ministries are working under bureaucrats as their heads and other class B and class C officials. All these are recruited to on regular basis. There is a regular pattern of this recruitment like advertisement, selection, exam in different stages, interview, medical test, etc. This process is very generic in nature and sometimes takes 3 years or so for appointment. Keeping in note of this recruitment process and in view to expedite various ongoing work or projects, faster project present government is proposing for various other recruitment alternatives like lateral entry from PSUs or private sector companies as OSDs, consultants, and joint secretaries. But the initial recruitment was for these joint secretaries. I was working as a consultant to the government, and several other people, those who are working uh, uh, as a special staff on special duties to different ministries. This is on special duty. Okay, consultants and joint secretaries. This is the usual method actually. This is not the new model which we keep on doing. Only thing, uh, consultants were there, OSDs were there. We thought of let us go for joint secretaries level. Brief of the problem. In view to expedite various ongoing work on or project faster, fulfill vacant position in shorter period, and hire efficient professionals or domain specific experts, present government is proposing for various other recruitment alternatives like lateral entries from PSU or private sector. With a committee of secretaries favoring lateral entry into civil services, the Department of Personnel and Training DOPT has been instructed to put up a proposal on the induction of outsiders in the middle rung of ministries that deal with economy and infrastructure. Go up. Instructions have come up from the Prime Minister office to prepare a broad outline of modalities for selecting private individuals for appointment in the rank of Deputy Secretary, Director and Joint Secretary. The move was in response to central government staffing policy paper where the DOPT has indicated a huge shortage of officers in the middle management level. So what they did is, this is the circular number. They put on the advertisement for is going to recruit 40 more domain experts, and they have given that okay, we are going to appoint under DOPT for the positions of Deputy Secretary, Director and Joint Secretary. There were present government gave appointment for 9 joint secretaries from corporates. This was this is the source which I have given. The source is of joining letter for civil aviation joint secretary. Mr. Dubey was got
Yes, sir.
appointed. Yeah.
So why these particular secretaries are only appointed?
What they did is they prepare a rationale that what all those ministries or departments which required a domain expertise. And based on those domain expertise only, we will recruit. It is not that we will go for a mass recruitment. We will go for a lesser number of people, but for a domain expert like Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Aviation, Railway Ministry. I'm just giving you the examples where domain expertise are required. Okay, so they have come up with certain ministries which do require the domain expertise, and that is why. Who all are the stakeholders in this? Bureaucrats, regular appointed officials, PSUs, private companies, selectors, ministries, state and central government bodies, lateral interns, those who are actually filling up the form, OSDs, consultants, and many others were the part of this particular policy. Okay. What is the associate evidence on this, which we have actually presented? That firstly, the data we have taken up, that there were 6,077 applicants were there for 10 joint secretaries. For 10 joint secretaries, you can see the number of people, those who were the part of this. 6,077 applicants were there for 10 positions. Okay, this means per post 1100 applications were there. Okay, minimum applicants for any single ministry or joint secretary post were 290, which is also amazing. Per ministry there were 290 applications. We need to select only one person, but although there were 290 applications against that, there are presently 6,500 total IAS posts, out of which only 5,004 are filled. So 1496 posts are vacant. This is the data. This means approximately 77% are filled, but still 23% of IAS posts are vacant. And this position is still likewise only, because we have recruited 10 in year 2019 and 30 in 2020. So just to add on to this, if you go and add on to this 504, you got 5,044 only. Still somewhere 76% people are recruited, and 22% somewhere down the line are still vacant. So you got the idea why they did actually for this, or why they went for this. Then come the literature review. It's not only that once you are going for a framing out and any evidence. I took the evidence uh, for the recruitment, for the appointment of that particular joint secretary. I took the evidence from the DOPT, that how many number of IS people are there, how many are recruited, how many are exactly the vacant seats are there, and then um, what is that recruitment of non-joint secretary in various ministries. Then I took the newspaper articles, editions and magazines, which all are saying, if you see a flawed approach by K. Ashok Vardhan Shetty, public HRM reform, a multinational perspective, Mary France Vaccine and Robert Bateman, American University of Sharjah. They have given this reform. They have done this research on this, that what can be the advantages or what can be the disadvantages for this public reform when it was there in America actually. Intensive order by Government of India for Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate in year 2019. See, for environment, for forest, for climate, we required a domain expertise, and that is why a different set of intensive order was given by the government. Economics and Political Weekly, uh, volume 53, issue number 32, dated 11th August 2017. This is also talking about the lateral entry. Can lateral entry in IS ensure good governance? This was an article given in the newspaper. Insight Mind Maps, GS lateral entry into civil services. This was also an article given in newspaper. Drishti paper on lateral entry 1. This was given in the Drishti papers. Drishti is an academy which is talking about or which is giving an this thing coaching for IAS aspirants. Okay, civil aviation letter entry requirements. They also have given what all those requirements for that particular position. Opinion by Mr. Pradeep S. Mehta, Secretary General, Cuts International, published in AsianAge.com. He calls for it a lateral entry of experts helps better governance. Why not lateral entry exit? Here he was talking about it's not only that we are talking about the lateral entry also. Let us talk about the exit policy also for these officials. What can be the best way out? How we can use our bureaucrats or these people, those who are domain experts, in better way. Letter into government 1, letter into government 2, as published in IS Parliament as Shankar IS Academy initiative. There is one academy as A Shankar IS Academy. They too have given an article on this lateral entry into government. Interview question is prepared. I, with my team members, prepared and questionnaire. What was those questions? I will let you know. There is even I have taken the reference of the post which has been done by Mr. Dubeji. He is the Joint Secretary in Aviation Ministry. The moment he got his appointment, he shared his appointment letter on LinkedIn. And at that particular time, there was 811 comments on his recruitment of lateral entry to the position of joint director. And I have presented only 22 mixed LinkedIn comments on this. Only 2 to 3 comments were against of that. Rest of all 809 or 8 comments was in favor of this particular policy. Then I did a refined work with that. Let us go for an expert consultation too, and prepare an interview. What I did is I prepared we did an interview with Mr. Utkars, who is the founder of Samagra Foundation. Samagra Foundation is working for the technical intervention in education across ministries in all the states, and he is consultant to Odisha government for agriculture sector. And on 20th and 20th of September, we did this actually interview. Please move on to the next. And this is the format, this is the question which we asked to him. What is the need of lateral entry? It's been going debate, but government always said away. Why is it more acceptable now than before thought? There was a persistent need. Then why go recruitment now? The talks were going around so since long, but why that particular recruitment comes in that particular time? What is the expected end result out of this? Is it going to be more specialized skill set, or there are any additional parameters considered for this recruitment? The ease of work burden or specialization will support it or not? Can lateral entry become a permanent feature of government recruitment? Is it a temporary form of appeasement, or does it offer long-term career opportunities? Or is there any lateral entry barrier? Is certain barriers are there functioning on the bureaucracy for these people, those who will join from outside, those who are the part of actually private sector, will once they will go, what will be the level of acceptance by the bureaucrats, by the IAS people, by the IPS? What can be the barriers for them? How can the governance machinery improve this particular, or how they will accommodate these lateral entrants? What is the system of lateral entry? Is it really unique or existing style with all other? What can be the legal framework within India and other jurisdictions across globe? What we are talking about, is the entry into system more structured in other jurisdiction? It means in any part of the globe, what exactly the format of this particular lateral entry? Is it also seen as a method of introducing spoil system in the society, that we are saying that our IS people are not working, let us recruit others, or these people are working, or and the people those who are coming new, they are not the part of this, or they are not good people? Is the public and the bureaucracy open to this idea? Is it brought up any significant changes in the system? Is it different from present system in India? Is lateral entry for furthering the objective of good governance, which we are talking about? Are the goals of the good governance, is it optimally met by this system of lateral entry? Please move on to the next. Is there a direct nexus between bearing on good governance or onboarding people through lateral entry? What are the advantages of bringing this lateral entrance? What will be the value supplied? Because these people are the domain experts. What can be the added advantage by these people to be serving as an bureaucrats? Or lateral entry able to bring in the private and corporate work culture in same space, or there will be a bridge between these people? How do lateral entry tackle challenges of implementation and strategies? Can you give a substantial example or case where bringing in lateral entrance help to further objective of lateral entry? Please move on to the next. Likewise, we frame out so many questions, and we at least this discussion goes on for 3 hours or so. I and Shivangi was the part of this discussion with that particular gentleman, and we were talking about this particular system, and we did it across the length with so many government officials. This was just a format which we did, and the questionnaire which we prepared actually to present to the bureaucracy, to the government of India, that what it is going to be, and how governance model, how bureaucracy, how consultants, how the stakeholders are looking forward for this. We prepared this and submitted it to the government. Please move on to the next. What can be the method of hiring, common portal, and we got the answers also. You need not to go through the answers. Go down. This I will be actually sharing it to you. We did a brainstorming on that. Okay, wait a while. Then we got the idea that okay, this can be the solution. This is the best practice. There will be impartiality, there will be integrity, there will be transparency on that. Accountability is there, competition among the people will be there, and so on. Please go on. Uh,
Should I go down?
go up, go up. Uh, just down to this idea. We were discussing about why this idea comes in. Idea comes in because shortfall in the numbers. Go next. There was idea comes because target oriented. We are looking for the targeted outcome out of ministries, out of programs, out of initiatives. We were looking forward for improved governance model, and that is why this particular thought comes in. Will it work? We thought of course, there will be a disturbed balance among this. The people, those who are going from private sector to bureaucracy, or the people, those who are in the bureaucracy. There will be a somewhere fight will be there. Rough and tumble thoughts will be there. People will be actually looking forward that how best opportunities can be leveraged uh, with uh, with these types of domain expertise and these types of experienced IAS and IPS people. How best we can actually take on. What will be the previous experiences on that? Wait a while here. I would like to give you the account. What was the previous experience? Previous experience was Air India, Indian Airlines, and Vayudoot proved to be a failure in public sector. And we have switched on to what we did for Air India before this acquisition. Before acquisition of Air India and Indian Airlines, it went to whom?
The private company.
Private company. And what happened there, of course?
So basically, it
They
was
all proved to be the failures. So again, this is coming back to Air India comes back to
Tata Group.
No, no, before this acquisition,
So government of India.
government of India. And again, because the failure was there, we did it. We had given it to Tata. So you can see the experiences, the previous experiences, that earlier it was the part of private, then again we had given it to the government, then again it has been given to private. So these previous experiences are there. So can these policies, or can this particular scheme or initiative be the same or not? We need to think for. Please move on to the next.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, I think it's enough for today. I am tired.
you can. Who is this?
Sir Alok.
Alok. Then you can leave. Wait a while. Just I'm ending up. Just I'm ending up. Zoeb, please go down. Move on to the next. See, wait a while. Wait a while. Go to the trade-offs. What can be the trade-off of this particular policy? Acceptance. Regular recruits and bureaucrats do not accept lateral entrance in its hiring process. What can be the other trade-off? Organization change management. Working culture in corporate totally differ from bureaucrats. So once an individual from corporate is sitting at higher government post, there will be change in organization, operation and management. Sustainability of hiring process. Hiring individual on contract basis does not seem to be an effective governance, and this is not only unstable for individual, but it affects the running project too. Short running projects too, short during hiring will not give sufficient analysis for doing research on lateral hiring impact. These are the most important trade-offs, that is acceptance, organization change management, and sustainability of hiring process. I will come to these 3 points for the present situation too. What government is thinking for by this process is effectiveness, because there will be a benchmark. People from Infosys, Wipro, TCS, they will be coming in. Efficient people will be working in because they have undergone through conflict resolutions management courses, and they are efficient also because due to the experiences. Transparency will be there because they will be following the rules and regulations of the government. Equity will be there, of course. We are talking about each and every person to actually be there. Responsiveness was there because for 10 positions, 6,077 applicants have actually applied for this. And inclusiveness, with there we are talking about each and every person to come in and actually speak for that. Please move on to the next.
More.
Some more. Wait a while. Summary: Indian civil services need reform. There is a little argument about this. Internal reforms such as insulation from political pressure, career path linked to specialization, and external reforms such as lateral entry are complementary, addressing the same deficiencies from different angles. Thus, lateral entry cannot be a panacea for everything. It has an exception in Indian civil services and should continue to be so. And we frame out one of the Google form out of this and said to several. Now you can stop this screen sharing. We said that Google form to so many bureaucrats. They have actually given that deliberation on those topics and those questions, and by that we came to know about exactly how this is going to be. But government of India has implemented it. There is a second round on that, and very soon it will be going to be implemented in different states also. I am focusing, or I am trying more and more that this should come in state of Uttar Pradesh too, because we have been into this particular exercise and we did the research work, and we are in we know the advantages or the benefit of this policy. So we are favoring, or we are asking state government of Uttar Pradesh to actually go for this particular theory or the policy. Now, floor is open to you all. First of all, I'm just stopping the recording here because this shall not be recorded. Okay.